it very well could be that you have meddlers in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if it's like a mother-in-law, you know what I'm saying? Child, we're not even gonna get on that today. Moving right along. Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to your, Cross Watchers Only reading. I am Princess India if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And whatnot, or whatever. Don't you dare judge me. But anywho, if you're not familiar with what the Cross Watchers Only reading is, it is a reading that I do for my cross watchers who are looking to lurk or get some information on a Scorpio that you might be dating and whatnot, or whatever, trying to get a little tea and things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in to you guys' cards to see what is going on between you and your Scorpio person of interest. So let's say hello. I have no idea where that sound is coming from. Just don't judge me. Go with it. So anywho, first card that we have the Three of Cups in the reverse. Ooh, child. And the Seven of Wands in the reverse, as well as the Three of Pentacles. Now that's an interesting contrast. So what it's looking like, my cross watcher friend, in reference to your Scorpio person, it's a loss of joy in this connection. I would say a little bit of disappointment. That's what wanted to come out, but it really feels like a great deal of disappointment here. And going towards you guys' past energy, it's more or less coming into November with your Scorpio person and feeling attacked. I don't know why the first thing that comes to me, it feels something like friends or family doesn't like you or something of the sort. And it's more or less that is kind of getting to your self-esteem at present. So it's kind of feeling disempowered in this connection because it feels like there's some contention between, it's almost like a desire to fight for the relationship or for the person, but it's either their friends or their family doesn't particularly care for you, or they could quite possibly be influencing this person into how it is that they're dealing with you, or being with you, period. And that's kind of leading us to this point with this this Three of Cups in the reverse. I really do feel like this has more to do, because looking at this, well, I mean, technically when you watch this, because I start these in the middle of the month, because this is really speaking to around November 15th, which is usually around the time that I put these out, at least the week of. So somewhere around the Scorpio new moon, which is on the 15th. And what that's really talking about is facing fears. So if I were to just kind of garner from this, and this is just me looking at you guys' energy, I don't know if your Scorpio person, if we're talking about a guy here, I would say if your Scorpio person is a mama's boy, or is just heavily influenced by their family and stuff. The thing that I really feel like you're waiting for this month is more or less a desire. And what I feel like you would have clarity on by the end of the month with this Three of Pentacles is if you guys are going to be able to work together to work this out. But it's almost as if I feel somewhere in the middle of the month, there's a need for you or your Scorpio person to face their fears in reference to this situation, because I think that your Scorpio person has issues in reference to standing up to these people. I don't know who they are. I mean, I understand if it's like a person's parents or something like that, that would make sense. But, and I don't know, for some of y'all, this could literally be like a baby mama type of situation. I ain't lying. It's like, it feels like whoever it is that's influencing how you guys' relationship is going, it feels inappropriate. Like it feels like the person who's influencing them should not have any pull, which means if this person is an adult, you kind of shouldn't have your parents telling you what to do as an adult, unless you're on their payroll and still live with them and things, you know what I'm saying? But they still really shouldn't be telling you what to do. But I mean, if you're under their roof, you know, that's one thing. or like an ex-wife, ex-husband, or like baby mama, baby daddy type of situation. It's almost like this person, whoever they are, even like friends and stuff, they have too much influence over your Scorpio person than they should, you know, to where they default to these people or this person's opinion, and they really shouldn't, because it's just the vibration I feel with that. It's like a perversion in the connection with them and whoever these people are to them. But whatever the case, it's more or less calling for them to stand up for themselves. That's one side of it, but another side of it for others of you cross watcher, this is something you guys would need to do for your Scorpio person. Is more or less for another group of you, I would see this as like a one-sided connection and your needs more or less not being met. And I mean, that could even lump into my group 1 people, where this person is always putting friends and family over you. You know what I'm saying? It's like cutting time short with you for, you know, I don't want to say kids. If it was for kids, it would be for kids who just grown. You know what I'm saying? Where they stopping everything and going running behind children. And it's kind of like your child is 30. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's something that I'm feeling about this relationship that they have with this person or these people. It's something about it that's off kilter, where it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? Like if your, 5-year-old is sick, then yes, of course, you're going to get up in the middle of the night. But if your 30-year-old has a cold, you know what I'm saying? We're not talking about Rona. We're not talking about car accident, nothing like that. Like they got the sniffles and you're like, I need to go take care of my child. Like how ludicrous that sounds. That's the vibe that I get with this. So for others of my Scorpios, I feel it's a need for you guys on one end to just stand up for yourself, because if this doesn't involve other family members, this is more or less you guys being disempowered by your Scorpio person, and it's a need for you to speak up for yourself. For the other group of you, it very well could be that you have meddlers in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if it's like a mother-in-law, you know what I'm saying? Child, we're not even gonna get on that today. Moving right along. That is a struggle, and that struggle is real. Anyway, but I feel that whatever the case is, there's a need on some sense or another where my cross-watcher person has trouble for speaking up for themselves, and there's something with this where you see that this is dysfunctional or some sense of off kilter. And it's more or less you needing to speak up to your Scorpio person in reference to the fact that a relationship consists of 2 people, unless you're polyamorous. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not, it's just 2 people. You understand what I'm saying? Moving right along. Next card that we have the Emperor. That's Aries energy. Then we have the 3 of Swords in the reverse. Wow. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and that's Jupiter energy. The planet's Jupiter. Okay. All right. With your Scorpio person, I feel with them, I'm just going to say it. It's almost like they're putting up a facade in a sense. They're trying to put up a front and trying to maintain control in this situation, like keep everybody happy. And I feel in some sense or another, but I really feel they're not really doing a good job at it. With this 3 of Swords in the reverse here, I feel like with whatever it is that you guys went through with this person, and this literally could be from the beginning part of November all the way back to October. It's like whatever this whole little family communal conflict meddling energy is, I feel how it is that they handled it was more or less them trying to hurt you. I mean, did I say trying to hurt? I meant trying not to hurt you. That came out so wrong. Anyway, them trying not to hurt you. But I still feel the way that they handled it, I feel like more or less for your Scorpio person, they were trying to do their best to not hurt you. But I just feel like the method or the approach that they used wasn't ideal. Because with you guys, like I said, having this 3 of Cups here, you were still hurt. It's almost like I kind of feel like they would have been better off leaving well enough alone. But I think it's one of those things where, like almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're trying to prevent something from happening, but it's like you inadvertently create it. You know what I mean? So I feel their intentions were not necessarily ill. And then I can look at just like Scorpio characteristics. It's like Scorpio people sometimes, most of the time, I'm not gonna lie, will be like their intentions won't necessarily be malicious, but I feel like Scorpios get a bad rap for being like people thinking that they're sneaky and malicious and stuff like that. But it's just that Scorpios kind of move and don't necessarily explain themselves. So I think a lot of times they get a bad rap because their intentions weren't necessarily ill or they weren't really trying to hurt anyone. It's just that they don't really necessarily feel that they have to tell people what they're doing or how they're doing it because they feel a sense of comfort in that. But I think the thing that's incongruent with this is the fact of, them being so heavily influenced, because I usually look at Scorpio people as, I want to say trailblazers. And I'm even looking at this Aries energy here, like they're trailblazers, like they kind of do their own thing and they're not really so much concerned about what other people think about what they're doing. But whoever these people are, they have a soft spot with the Scorpio person to where they allow them to have a lot more control and influence than I think would be typical for their personality. For some people, it could be a father figure here too. But anywho, with this Emperor here, it's more or less the Scorpio person is trying to play both sides of the fence and keep everybody happy, but I just feel like that kind of backfired in so many words. And with this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, it's more or less between the two of you. It's a desire for my cross-watcher person of wanting and I could even say for some of y'all, dude, if this has something to do with this person's family, it's like, even if the family doesn't really fool with you or their friends don't fool with you, it's the cross-watcher's desire. And this really might be a baby mama, y'all, I ain't lying. Or baby daddy. It's like an ex or something. It's even with my cross-watcher, it feels like you guys would even be willing to all work together with this whole thing, even as chaotic as this situation is, but what I feel with this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse for your Scorpio person, it's almost like with them trying to play both sides of the fence. I'm not necessarily saying that it's like a third party type of situation, even though that could be very possible with this Three of Swords in the reverse and the Three of Cups in the reverse and the Three of Pentacles here. That's very possible. But because it's almost like a perversion of a relationship. And the reason why I keep saying like ex-wife, ex-husband, baby mama, baby daddy type of situation, because what this would look like to me would be like, say if somebody was married to someone and they got divorced, right? Or two people had a kid together, right? And the two people aren't together anymore, but it's like they still sleep together. Or the other person, the ex-wife, ex-husband, or baby mama, baby daddy, still have some type of control over this person to where it influences them to do things that's irrational, to where it's self-destructive for their life, but it's like the other person wouldn't do that. So it feels almost to me like your Scorpio person would be dealing with somebody who's very manipulative, and the person is fully aware that they have control over this person like that, where it's like, and I'm just going to use one particular scenario just so I can stop bouncing around, but say the cross watcher is a chick, right? And you're in a relationship with a Scorpio dude, and your Scorpio dude has a child or an ex-wife out there somewhere, right? And the ex-wife or baby mama really wasn't caring about what home dude was doing. But I don't know, she saw a picture of y'all two on his stories or something, or heard through the grapevine that he was seeing somebody. So now all of a sudden it's all this stuff with the kids now. It's like, oh, they need help with their homework. And, they're crying for you, and, they're sick, but it's like playing it up to where it's bigger than it really is. You know what I'm saying? Like acting like the child got the Rona or something, and it's just the sniffles. You know what I'm saying? They got a paper cut and they acting like they broke an arm or a leg or something like that. And I feel with this ex, it's like they have pull over this person through guilt. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that they have over them that I'm seeing with this Three of Swords in the reverse, like making them feel horrible for something that they really didn't do like that. You know what I'm saying? Or even if, I don't know, dude, I'm hearing so many crazy scenarios, or even it's like, I don't know, the wife cheated on the husband buku times, you know, and then the husband in retaliation cheated once when they were married, and then they got divorced. But the wife is like, you know, the ex-wife is throwing all in the dude's face, like, but you cheated on me one time, but all that was in the past. But it's like, when we got back together, you cheated on me that one time, you know? And it's like, even though they're not together, it's like a guilt this person carries. And I feel like with this guilt of your Scorpio person perceiving that they hurt this person at some point in time, or they feel like they owe them something, it's like this past person uses that to manipulate them. And it's almost with your Scorpio person, they're trying to move forward, but it's like they can't because I don't even think they see that this person manipulates them like that, because they feel like an obligation. So it's almost feeling justified that they owe this person something, whether that's, you know, friends, family member, whatever. But I feel like whoever this is using guilt to control them. The Scorpio is desiring to move forward with their life, but they can't, because it's like this person keeps pulling them back off of the premise of guilt. And I hope that that's making sense. The next cards we have is the Temperance, that's Sagittarius energy. Oh, Lord Jesus. We got the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Oh, Lord. And the Ace of Wands in the reverse. And this is you guys' underlying energy between the two of you. So more or less, going back to what I was saying with this Emperor in the center of the spread, it's like your Scorpio person was trying to play both sides of the fence, trying to keep things balanced, you know? And I feel at the heart of it, their desire really is, it's like, I don't necessarily feel that they have malicious intent towards you. I mean, if they do, this just might not be the same type of situation, because I feel for this person, I don't really feel like they want to hurt anybody. It's just, I don't know. It's like the vibe I get with this Scorpio person. It's like they feel like a Ponzi, like they're like a puppet of this person. And I mean, that's kind of a sin and a shame in a sense, to allow somebody to have that much control over you like that when you a whole adult out here in these streets. However, I understand it. You know what I mean? Unfinished business that we have in our lives, different regrets that we have in our lives, people who are manipulative will take advantage of those wounds and attempt to use it for their benefit. And I mean, I would say for my cross-watcher person, if this is validating things that you've had hunches about, like if you've kind of felt like, you know, guilty, because it's like, well, you know, how could I say that you're not supposed to spend time with your kids because you're supposed to spend time with your kids? I could understand if you felt that way, but I feel it's the person who feels or has felt a hunch for some time now, like, that sound right, but some about this just don't sit right with me. I feel like this is validation for you. Like, you 100% correct. However, trying to get your Scorpio person to see what you're seeing isn't really going to help any, because it's gonna end up coming off. And I feel like this person has this set up like this. If you were to speak out on this to your Scorpio person, they would probably flash out on you like, how could you tell me to not, you know, show up for my kids, or to not, you know, show up for my mom or my dad, or whatever the case may be. Like, how could you say that my friends not really my friends, you know? But I feel like that situation is almost set up like that, to where you speaking out on it in that sense, they would take as an attack. And that's where I feel like this Eight of Wands in the reverse comes from, where they like kind of block you out on some stuff, because as you speaking out on it is that causes a whole uproar to where they create distance. And it's so ironic how I'm seeing this, dude, because it's almost like this, and I'm not gonna say that the outside person, like the ex person or whatever, is like some sort of master mind or whatever, but it's just, I don't know, dog. People are really, they got some interesting people in this world, but it's almost like this whole situation is set up that way, because it's almost like they create this scenario. It's like psychological warfare, dude. it's like their ex knows them so well that it's like they play them like a puppet. And it's like, and they know that a person who is with them would not put up with what they're asking them to do. But it's like the Scorpio person does it under the guise of like, that's what I'm supposed to do as like, you know, a son, daughter, mommy, daddy, whatever the case may be. How could I not show up? That would be so selfish, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. But if you speak out on it, it makes you look selfish, you know? And it's like inadvertently the person distances themselves from you because it's like this ex person knows that. Like they're like, nobody who has any form of like, you know, self-respect or what have you is not about to put up with the fact that your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, is going to their ex's house or at their ex's beckoning call or at their mom or dad's beckoning call like that. A person eventually is going to get tired of it and leave this person behind. The really jacked up thing about it is this person doesn't even want them. That's what's messed up about it. It's like they just don't want them to be happy. So it's almost like Crosswatcher. If you were to leave this Scorpio person alone because of all of this drama with all of this and you just get sick of it and you were to leave them, this person would stop talking to them tomorrow. They'd be like, oh, they gone? Good. And they would go on about their business. But it's like the whole premise of why this person is doing this is because they don't want them to move on. It's like they don't want your Scorpio person to move on with their life or to have a new beginning. It's almost like this misery loves company type of philosophy. So it's almost as if they're intentionally blocking this person. But I have to say, Crosswatcher, even if this is resonating with you and validating what you're dealing with, this is a really sticky kind of energy because the thought is if you love and care about the Scorpio person, what you're going to want to do is to try to wake them up and help them see what it is that you're seeing. But I assure you, the more that you try to make them see, the farther it's going to pull them away. You know what I mean? Because this is one of those things where this person has to come into the awareness of that. You know what I'm saying? But that's really sad, dude. And I mean, I think it's funny because, like, I had to watch my speech just now. I was like, dog, I was like, Google people probably like, oh, that's the karmic. That's the karmic. I don't know about all that, y'all. But it really does kind of sound like one of those situations. But I be feeling like in that whole twin flame stuff, people be giving karmics a little bit too much credit than they deserve. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what this person is, they're just a master manipulator that's taking advantage of this person through their weaknesses. And I just think that's the worst type of people because they just literally don't want to see him move on. They really don't want him. That's the messed up part. That's so sad. But anywho, Crosswatcher, that's been your reading. I'm going over to Vimeo, my website, YouTube members, and Patreon to do you guys extended. And in the extended, we look at how your person of interest is thinking and feeling about you at present to give you some additional information to weigh in reference to this connection. So if you're about that life, follow me over there. If not, I still love your face. No, I'm Shan. And I'll see you guys sooner than later, hopefully sooner in the extended, my friends. If you're a member, you know I'm gonna see you. Love you.